everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to day 15 of my 25 Days of Craftmas series. Today I'm showing you how to make this easy Christmas sign with your Cricut. It's perfect for a quick gift or great for your own home too. Now let's go take a look at the supply list and get started. For this project you'll need a piece of wood, and mine measures about 5.5 inches by 11 inches. You'll need some white vinyl, transfer tape, a weeding tool and scraper, staining supplies, a clear finish, jute twine, Christmas embellishments, a hot glue gun and glue, and of course, your Cricut, a cutting mat, and the cut file. So grab your supplies and head over to your computer. The first thing we need to do is grab the SVG file we'll be using for this project. You can get it for free on my blog at burtonavenue.com. I keep all the SVG files for the projects I make and share in my free SVG library. These files will work with all kinds of cutting machines and they're free to everyone. Once you're on my site, just go to Free SVG Files and then Free SVG Library. You will need a password to get into the library, and there are instructions on the screen if you need to get one. For this project, we're going to be using the cut file called Season's Greetings BA2115. To find it, just use your browser search and type in 2115. Once you've found the file, go ahead and click on that link, and the files will be downloaded onto your computer. So I'm going to show you how to set up and cut this design in Cricut Design Space. If you're not sure how to unzip and import designs into Cricut Design Space, be sure to check out my step-by-step tutorial. So this is what the design will look like when you first import it onto your Canvas screen. So now we need to resize it so that it will work with our project. To do that, I'm going to create a rectangle that is the same size as my piece of wood. So I'm going to go over and click on Shapes, and then you can choose the rectangle. And then you can go up here and unlock the padlock and put in the dimensions of your piece of wood. So the wood that I'm using measures about 11 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. So I'm just going to put in those dimensions. And then I'm going to click on Arrange and choose Send to Back. And now my design will appear in front of that rectangle. I am going to select the design and change the color to white so I can see it a little bit better. And now we can just drag on these arrows and resize the design until it looks good. So the size of my design is just about 8 inches wide by about 5 inches tall, and I think that size looks good. Remember, we're going to be adding some Christmas embellishments to this side, so we don't want the design to go too far over. So once you're happy with the design, you can select that rectangle and delete it. And that really is all that we need to do on this Canvas screen. This design is already welded together, so we don't even need to attach it. So now we can click on the green Make It button. And then you'll be taken to this screen. And this is just going to show you what the design will look like on your cutting mat. If everything looks good, you can click on the green Continue button. Once Design Space finds your Cricut, you'll be taken to this screen. Make sure that your dial is set to vinyl, and then you can go load your cutting mat. So you're going to place a piece of white vinyl on your cutting mat and smooth it down. Load it into your Cricut by pressing the up and down arrow button. When your Cricut is ready to cut, you'll see the C button light up. Press that and the machine will begin cutting. When everything has been cut, you can press the up and down arrow button again to unload your mat. Remove the vinyl from your cutting mat and trim off any unused portion of the vinyl. Then, weed away the excess vinyl from around your design. You can use a weeding tool to help you pull out the small pieces left inside of the letters. Next, cut a piece of transfer tape a little larger than your design and place it sticky side up on your work surface. Then, place your vinyl on top of that. Rub over the design firmly with your scraper, and then trim off the excess transfer tape and vinyl backing. Next, we're going to work on staining our piece of wood. You can use any color you want, and I use dark walnut. You could also use paint instead of stain. I like to use a foam brush to apply the stain. After I apply it, I let it sit for just a minute or two and then wipe it off with an old towel or a paper towel. If you want a darker color, you can let it sit longer before you wipe it off. Let your stain dry for several hours, and then apply a clear sealer. You can use either a brush-on finish or a spray, and I used a brush-on polyacrylic. Once the sealer is totally dry, it's time to apply the vinyl. So grab your design and flip it over, and then pull off the vinyl backing. Position the design on the right side of the wood, so you'll have room on the left to add some embellishments. Center it from top to bottom. Once it's in place, you can use a scraper to rub over the entire design, and then carefully pull off the transfer tape. To finish off the sign, you'll wrap some jute twine around the left side about 3 or 4 times and tie it in a knot, and then trim off the ends. Adjust the spacing of the twine so it looks good. Next, grab your Christmas embellishments. I used some pine, a pine cone, a bow tied with the jute twine, and a couple of jingle bells. Use some glue to attach the embellishments to your sign. And that's all there is to it. This project is finished. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so you'll get notified each time I post something new.